You know, it's kind of funny when you think about it, but how many of you remember when you began to consciously walk your spiritual path, right? You began to consciously walk your spiritual path. You started to pay attention to this feeling within you that says, wait, that's really interesting. It doesn't seem like anybody else is really talking about this or thinking about this, but my soul is being pulled to this thing, but it's going to pull me from those other people, all the masses, all of my friends and my family, but I have to do this. I have to explore this. And when you make that decision to get out of the matrix, when you get out of this cookie cutter way of life that the matrix, the 3D world, the elites want you to live, you begin to see that there's so much information and knowledge out here. And some of it, it's like, oh my God, I didn't know that. Oh my goodness. And some of it's like, wait, what? Of course, you need to practice your discernment. Sometimes you'll agree with something now, and then you'll disagree with it later, and vice versa. Sometimes you'll hear it from very smart people, very knowledgeable people, very wise people, and you'll agree and disagree at different points in your life, you know? But you start to get to some of these things in your own personal walk when you hear certain things, like one of my philosophies, let's keep it very basic, super basic. 1 + 1 = 1. What you mean 1 + 1 = 1? 1 + 1 = 2. Well, the main, and you can see by the title of this video, the main point I wanted to get across to you is like sometimes in your spiritual journey, I feel like no matter where you are in it, whether you are in the beginning stages, you just woke up yesterday, or you've been walking it for a while now, it's still very important to every once in a while reset, delete. Don't live in your bias. Don't get stuck in a certain way of thinking. You need to forget everything that you know. Right? Because when you are living the world from your own personal view, which we all are, you know, understandably, and you see things when you're supposed to see them. But like if you are living in your own little worldview where you believe that only the things that you see is true and blah, bing, bada, boom, you realize that like you might be missing out on information, or you might be missing out on another way of thinking about certain things, right? 1 + 1 = 1, right? If you are a material thinker, if you would live in a 3D mindset, 1 + 1 = 2, because that's what you learned in school, and that's what you've been living your life as this entire time. But so when a weirdo wearing goggles on his head and a rock on his neck say 1 + 1 = 1, you are so quick to say, oh, look at this idiot, he's trying to be fake deep. He's trying to do, without even bothering to see where they're coming from. What that teacher, and I'm not saying I'm a teacher, I'm just saying we're all each other's teachers and we're all each other's students. But like you're not even trying to see where that other person's coming from with that statement before you start to apply your thought processes to it, you know, your own discernment. 1 + 1 = 1, I use that analogy in regards to relationships. Because one man, one woman, or if you gay, straight, I really don't care. But you know what I'm saying? You and another person join into a relationship. Well, aren't you, like even in your vows, 3D thinkers, don't you say that this is a civil union? You're all coming together. Well, that means you're coming together as one. One. Uni. 1 + 1 = 1 new life that you are now bonded and intertwined with as you go throughout the steps of life. 1 + 1 = 1. You see? If you were once again living through the 3D mind, you will automatically discount that. Just call them a quack. All the names that we have nowadays. Quack, clown, you capping. You know, you've now diminished your own thought to a little picture in your phone, an emoji of a blue hat. You see what I'm saying? Just remember that. Even when you've been learning a lot of stuff and you hear someone coming from the opposite polarities talking a similar topic, but they just got there a different way. You know, if someone said to me, like, I'm just making this up, like for me, I like to do manifestation from the mind. I'm someone that lives in the mental plane. But if someone were to tell me that you need to sacrifice a shirt, 2 socks, and a goat's head to get whatever you want, and at first, if I'm living only from my perspective, I'm going to look at that person, nah, there's no way, you can't do that. But say, wait a minute, isn't the world infinite? Aren't there multiple ways to look at the same thing? 1 + 1 = 2. 2 × 1 = 2. 4 - 2 = 2. It all comes to 2, and you got there in all different ways. So that is why sometimes you need to not necessarily all the time forget what you know, but sometimes cast your own preconceived notions to the side and see what this information that has been brought into your consciousness has to teach you. You see, there's a lot of these people out here, you know, a lot of these woke people, a lot of these, and y'all have heard me be very vocal about these like spiritual content creators as well, myself included. I am not above this. You know, where we're so lost in our world when we hear somebody else's way of thinking, like we automatically discount that and say, no, that's not right. Nope, that's wrong. Blah, 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 blah. You know, but every once in a while, we all need to remember it's like everyone is speaking from their perspective. Now, you could still agree and disagree. I'm not saying to automatically just absorb what everyone's putting out there, because some people are using the spiritual community for clicks and views. And some people are just here to distract you. Some people are here to build you. Some people, and that's why it all comes back to you. You've learned a whole bunch of stuff. Once you hear this and you filter it through yourself, you're open to it, you let it in the first gate. Let's just use our chakras. You let it in the first chakra, the first gate, like if you're Rock Lee from Naruto. You know, you let it through the first gate. But then it's like, okay, I heard you. Now, let me go through the vetting process. Okay, I disagree with that point, and that point, but I do like how you explained that one. I'm going to take that and put it into my thing. You see what I'm saying? That's just all I wanted to put out here in this video. You know, it's like, stay open. Do not say that you're open to I'm open to the divine light of the infinite. But yet you limit the infinite down to your little minuscule view of the world, the view of things, the view of concepts, the view of theories and philosophies. You see what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I myself am by any means not perfect in this regard, you know, but this is just a reminder for myself and to all of you. Forget what you know. Put your thoughts on pause and be open to receiving information and knowledge from any walk of life. To the next one.